Hi, you guys. I had to jump on here. I'm getting ready to make my smoothie. I have all my ingredients out. I feel so much lighter since I released that prophetic word that I had this morning. It came so fast and so heavy in a glorious way. But just now, as I was making my smoothie, I got another message, and I hope it blesses you. And I don't know how long it'll be, but I just feel Holy Spirit pushing, nudging me to just open up, empty out, and let Him speak. So I want to explain a little bit about what I've learned, not only from first and foremost through the Lord, through the Holy Spirit, but my mentor, what it means to empty out and be a willing vessel. So, as I was sitting here putting my smoothie together, which takes quite a bit of time because I put a lot of ingredients in, hold on, y'all, I can't. I can't. He shows up in such practical ways, even when I'm delivering a message and I just heard him again. He said, Ashley, just like your smoothie, that in order for it to have all the nutrients it needs to have, it's got a lot of ingredients. That's what it's like. Wow. Okay, I hear you, Holy Spirit. Okay, so I have this ninja, and this is what I fill up. Y'all, I can't right now. Glory. I just can't with him. Sorry, y'all are like, you're witnessing. Y'all, he's so amazing. The prophetic is so hard, but it's so amazing. It's so worth it when you realize you've picked up your call and you've truly been, you're willing and you're emptied out. Okay, so he said, just keep going, Ashley. Okay, so just like my smoothie, and I did not plan this. I told you guys, he said just to show up and trust him that he would show up. I hear you. Did y'all hear that? He said, show up and just trust me that I'll show up. So when I just popped on just now, I didn't know what I was going to say. He just said, I have a message about being an empty vessel. I hear you. And being willing. And so I didn't know what I was going to say. He said, just show up, pop on, and I'll show up. You trust me, Ashley? And I said, okay, we've come this far, Holy Spirit. So I said, yes. So I popped on. I just unknowingly talked about my smoothie and all the ingredients. And I first talked about how the message he gave me was about being an empty vessel. My smoothie container, before I put the ingredients into it, is an empty ninja, an empty vessel. Oops, sorry. See, enemy doesn't want this getting out. Okay, so here is an empty, what it looks like before I put my fruit, my powders, my nutrients, all my vitamins, everything in it. And I eat this every day. I've been doing it for years. Okay. But he's telling me the message is just like this empty ninja is an empty vessel before he pours all the ingredients, all the nutrients into it, burns off the branches, right? That's when we become a spiritual smoothie is what I'm hearing. And so what it means, guys, what I have learned about being an empty vessel and being a willing vessel is it really, one of the number one things it required of me is just to not be scared, not be worried about embarrassment. And like just now I popped on and I'm like, Holy Spirit, I don't even know what the message is. I just hear you saying what it means to be an empty vessel and be willing. He goes, exactly. All you have to do is trust that you're hearing me, step out in faith, pop on, and I will fill you. Even in the Old Testament, you guys, it talks about the prophet Jeremiah and probably others too, where it says, I will fill your mouth. I hear you. Sorry. Just like when he fills our mouths, like he fills my smoothie container with the nutrients and the things I need. The things I need in the morning to get my day going, to go out into the kingdom purposes, out into our callings, out into our gifts, to use them for the kingdom. Y'all, he is to be a willing vessel is to empty out, meaning none of me, all of him. I don't care if I'm embarrassed. I don't care what it is that comes again. Now, when I say I don't care, it doesn't mean that you don't face hardship and feel it, but you walk through it with the Lord and you keep trusting him. And every time I have got knocked down, slandered, humiliated, he still picks me back up. And every time, let me tell you something, guys, the world takes me a little more seriously. I hear you. The people that matter, that he's after, that are going to turn their faces to him, take you a little more seriously. But you got to be willing to face all those things, like humiliation and losing things, material, spiritual, emotional, all those things that hinder us, that don't allow us to be fully empty. Because the more of us that we try to hold on to, he's not saying lose all those great qualities he innately made in you, but he's saying empty out. Meaning, empty out means to say, okay, Lord, I'm going to show up, like he just told me, trusting that you're going to show up. Now, it doesn't mean that we just pop on all the time and just say, okay, let anything come out. No, over time, you will learn what it feels like to empty out and then let him fill us. Sometimes in the beginning, what I learned is I tried to pop on and I just kind of led with my own wisdom and my own discernment. But over time, as I allowed him to keep teaching me through failing, honestly, and making a fool of myself potentially, having people judge me, losing things, people, places, things, lots of people, y'all. But I'll tell y'all, people that walk away, just, I don't mean to sound cliche, just let them. Trust me, the Lord will not let anybody who even walks away and comes back. There's a purpose to it. He's doing a work somewhere in something or someone, okay? But people that walk away forever, that don't see what you are hearing the Lord call you to do, then they don't have the eyes to see and ears to hear, and they'll answer to a holy God for that. But you are answering to a holy God too, who is calling you into purpose, calling you into promise, because the reason he gives you that promise ultimately is for purpose. And he's going to give it to you as a good gift, but he's going to teach you how to walk into your purpose first. And you don't have to be perfect. Purpose doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be, you just have to have passion for it. And when you have passion for something, especially kingdom something, which should be what all of us are purposed for, but not everybody does it, not everybody walks into it, that's when we empty out. So when I popped on this morning, just now, I didn't know what I was going to say. He just said, pop on. I'm like, what? I'm making my smoothie. And he's like, do you trust me that I'm going to put this together just like you put your smoothie together every day? I said, okay. So I popped on, and he says, when you empty out, that means that over the journey, there's less and less of you, and you start, I hear you. So much glory right now. And there's more and more of him, more and more of the ingredients that are nutrients, right? That strengthen us, fill us. When I pop on here, and I don't know what I'm going to say all the time, but I feel the Holy Spirit telling me just pop on and speak about this. I'm trusting, like the prophet Jeremiah was told, I will fill your mouth. The prophet Jeremiah even speaks about how, like, basically he thinks God tricks him. He's like, you keep putting me out here. You keep telling me to say these things, and they're not happening. And I'll tell you guys, in the beginning, that's what it felt like. And even when my husband died, I was like, wait a minute, you put me out there. You told me my husband was going to heal. And he's like, oh. And so now you don't believe that? You don't believe there was a purpose to why I spoke that to you? And in my finite carnal brain, I said, well, yeah, Lord, he's gone. And he's like, oh, he's gone. So wait a minute. What about eternity? What about the fact that he healed on the other side of heaven? And what about the fact that I still have a story being written that not everybody has the answers to yet, nor do I. But I'm already seeing a lot of what he promised me. And it's not just about the promise. It's about the purpose that he knew we wouldn't walk into if he gave us the promise first. And y'all, sometimes he gives us a little taste of the promise, and then he'll take it away to get you into purpose. That is a word for someone. I know it's a word for me. Let me say that again, Holy Spirit says. Sometimes he gives you a taste of the promise, and then he takes it away because you weren't in purpose. Then he trains you for purpose, and then he'll bring you back to that original promise that he gave you. Does that make sense? Take this back to God, test the Spirit. I didn't know this was going to be so prophetic. But listen, guys, to empty out and to allow him to fill us means over the course of the journey, we die to our flesh over and over again. And flesh can be anything, guys. Anger, resentment, bitterness, sin, lust, all of it. We all have sin. We all have things he has to take off us. We have to drop because, like Paul the Apostle says, it's hindering us. Sorry if my phone's shaking or I'm walking around and making y'all dizzy, but I'm filled with the Holy Spirit fire right now, and I'm sure y'all can feel it. So listen, over the course of the journey is when we slowly empty out our own vessels so he can fill us. And that comes with trusting him. Each time we get up, we may fall down. We are stronger and stronger each time. We trust him more and more each time. Deferred hope is scary. I get it. I know. But I promise you, if you keep getting up, if you're getting frustrated with him because you're like, you keep speaking to the same thing to me, but I don't see it, then you need to trust that just like that prophetic word I gave this morning, the puzzle box, the front of the puzzle box is coming together. The pieces are coming together. You don't see them because that wouldn't get you, it wouldn't keep you fired up for purpose. He's not dangling a carrot. He's leading you somewhere. Whew, that's a word for someone. He's not dangling a carrot. He's leading you somewhere. So guys, to be an empty vessel is to be a willing vessel, meaning get into the Old Testament, read about the prophets, read about who they became through the course of their trial and error. They weren't failing in God's eyes. God always saw the end result, but they were experiencing the endurance aspect, the resilience aspect of trusting God even when he can't see it. What pleases God? Faith. Faith does. So that's why we empty out. Less of us, more of him. We just step out on faith and we say, well, this one life isn't even about me anyways. It's about purpose. I hope this blessed you guys. Empty out so he can fill you. That is what makes you willing.